It's a story about the healthcare system putting a price on saving a young man's life and him having to pay one way or another. And a warning, some of the images you're about to see may be disturbing. To see Josue Rivero managing his way in a wheelchair today would have been unthinkable a little more than a year ago. The young man moved to Canada from Mexico to be with his mom until one day he quickly became ill, fell into a coma, and ended up losing both of his legs.
My health was really critical, so I had to decide whether to have my legs amputated or not. But if I did not accept the amputation, the infection could kill me at any moment.
Josue arrived in December 2021 looking for a better life. But in March of last year, he felt extreme pain in his stomach and immediately went to hospital. He didn't wake up until 2 weeks later. A serious infection led to lost circulation in his legs. It became a life or death battle. How did you feel when you first woke up and realized what was happening?
I just didn't know anymore. At that moment, I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know what to think. I didn't know if they were going to amputate my legs or not keep me in the hospital and I'm going to die.
At the same time, the government of Ontario ended a program put in place during the COVID pandemic. The Physician and Hospital Services for Uninsured Persons allowed undocumented people access to health care. But now, Josue was no longer covered. He was told repeatedly that he had to pay to stay at Humber River Hospital, the very place where he needed treatment, and the bills were piling up.
The days were passing and I thought the debt was increasing. It was going to be very expensive to pay for the days that I was staying there and the treatments that I was receiving to save my legs as much as possible.
Despite his condition, Josue chose to leave the hospital because he feared not being able to pay. But it got worse, and he needed to return for the surgery. 2 months after first entering the hospital, he owed Humber River nearly $90,000.
People like Josue and a lot of people in the community is facing this lack of access to healthcare, and they have to pay thousands of dollars just to get the service that should be able to get everyone, regardless their immigration status.
Josue has been home for nearly a year now, doing his best to navigate life, but with massive hospital bills outstanding.
Now the calls are not so often as before, but when they call me, I tell them that at the moment, I can't pay the debt.
So what happens to Josue and the thousands of other undocumented people in need of urgent health care in Ontario? Tomorrow, part 2 of our story with questions for the health minister and hospitals about charging patients for their stay.